Hello again. I wanted to make a video today about my first race experience in the ASICS Metaspeed Edge Paris. So recently I did a 5-mile race in Heckscher State Park, Long Island, New York. I'm taking part in the Summer Run Series, which is several different races over the next few weeks. The first race was 5 miles. Next Monday is a 10K. Then there's a couple 5Ks in there, a mile on the beach. So different distances. I'm going to be testing out some different shoes. I really wanted to give these a shot in a shorter race because they're the lightest running shoe that I've ever worn. I just recently weighed these again. US size 12. These are coming in at 7.48 ounces, which is, again, the only shoe I own that's less than 8 ounces, which is really impressive for a shoe of this size with this much stack height. In the past, I've looked at the Takumi Sen as really like the speed champion and one that I'd like to take out for track sessions, shorter, speedy runs, and even 5Ks. But now I really want to wear this one for a 5K instead of this, because this actually ends up being almost an ounce heavier than this shoe is, even though it has a lower stack. And Lightstrike Pro has that kind of responsive bounce to it, but it doesn't give you as much energy return as the foam in the ASICS shoe does. So this one I'm actually getting more cushion, more bounce, and a lighter shoe. So it's kind of taking the spot of this one for a 5K. So I'm really looking forward to using these for the first time in a 5K in 2 weeks. A little bit about my training recently. My main race for this year is I'm doing the Chicago Marathon in October. So that's really my main A race for the year that everything's focused around. My official training block for that's going to start in about 2 weeks. But I've been putting in a lot of longer runs at easy pace recently. Also doing a lot of Peloton biking as well. I find that really helps with keeping my legs loose. I'm not as tight once I do the bike, and recently I've been doing a lot of two-a-days where I'll run and come back and get on the bike and kind of flush out my legs, and that's been working really well for me. So I haven't been focusing that much on speed work. I've been mixing in some hill reps, usually at least once a week. I'm trying to do at least one long run a week and some speed sessions as well. So I'm going to be ramping up my training in the weeks to come. So I knew for a 5-mile race, something around 7-minute average pace is something I could do at this point. So that's what I was shooting for. So I'll put my results up on the screen now and kind of walk. So I was shooting for 35 minutes for a 5-mile race and ended up doing 35:20 according to my watch. My official finish time was 35:26. So slightly off of 7-minute pace, but according to my watch, it was exactly 7-minute pace. So I'll go by that. But I did a good job of not going out too hard. I did run the first mile a little bit faster than I wanted to. Did that at a 6:45, but that's not too much faster than I was going for. I wasn't totally overcooking it right away. Then slowed down a little bit, settled into a 7:06. Then the wind picked up a little bit in miles 3 and 4, so that slowed down a bit to 7:19, 7:30. I was really taking my foot off the gas in mile 4 because I knew I wanted to try and push really hard at the end of the race, so I was kind of saving myself for that last mile. And mile 5 ended up being the fastest mile of the race. I ran that in a 6:30. You can see my heart rate got up to 180 there right at the end, but I was able to keep it in the 160s, low 170s the whole time, which is kind of the sweet spot for me. If I go over 177 beats per minute, I'm not going to last, but I know in a 5-mile race I can kind of push right up to that limit, and I'm going to be able to finish strong still. Here's a look at my heart rate during the race. So my average heart rate was 168. My max heart rate in the end got over 180, but that was literally just at the end of the race when I was sprinting to the finish. And at that point, I got up to almost 14 miles an hour. I got up to 13.7 miles an hour at the end there, up to 4:23 mile pace. So I can be really fast for like a quarter mile. So I need to work on extending out that speed that I can hold that for longer. But at least I was able to get up to a very high top speed. And when I was putting it on at the end, this shoe felt absolutely fantastic. Going down that home stretch, I was sprinting as hard as I could, and this was just responding and exploding and rolling, and I felt like I had so much power that the shoe was giving back to me. It really felt awesome kind of barreling down that home stretch. I ended up finishing 80th overall out of 1,978, so not a bad result. There's some real fast people in these Summer Run Series races. The people that won this, I'll have to double check the person who won it, what their time was. I'll get you that in a minute, but ended up being number 8 out of 90 in my age group, 40 to 44. So it was a decent effort. The person who ended up winning the race was a 25-year-old male, finished in 26 minutes and 28 seconds, 5:18 mile pace. Pretty fast for a 5-mile race. I'll show some pictures of me kind of coming down the finish line here. They take these as a part of the race. So all those people that you see in the background, I was behind not that long ago. So my really fast close, I was able to pass a lot of people at the finish line. I could not quite keep up with 3:27 there. That was a 16-year-old. But actually in the official time, I beat him by 2 seconds. So he crossed the finish line faster than me, but he must have started 2 seconds ahead of me at the beginning of the race. But I did have a good sprint finish, so I enjoyed being able to close that race strong in the end. I also did not have any issues with stability with this shoe in that shorter distance race. Over 5 miles, the fact that this has that really narrow midfoot and heel really didn't make any difference to me. I wasn't uncomfortable at all. I didn't feel like I was overpronating. I was able to just run fast and efficiently, and the shoe performed excellent in that 5-mile race. I'm thinking for the 10K next week, I'm going to give the Endorphin Pro 4 a shot in that race to see how that feels over the 6.2, and then I'm going to switch back to this one for the 5K that's coming up next, and we'll see if I can get close to 20 minutes or under 20 minutes. I haven't done that in a little while. Haven't been focusing on speed as much lately, but I'm hoping that all these miles are going to pay off and I'll be able to get some of that speed back next time I run a 5K. So that's all I have for today. I just wanted to kind of give an overview of how this shoe performed for me in that race. Again, this upper is super light and breathable. The lockdown was great. I didn't have any heel slippage, any blisters, really responsive and fast. I think this foam has the perfect combination of squish and bounce. It's not too soft. It's not incredibly bouncy. It's not incredibly unstable either. So it's kind of like right in the middle. Flight Foam Turbo Plus is my favorite super foam that I've tried in any shoe so far. So again, I'm really looking forward to when ASICS comes out with the Super Blast 2 in July, because I'm definitely going to pick up a pair of those. But right now, my first race in the Metaspeed Edge Paris, I hate how shoes have so many names, was a success. I was able to achieve the goal pace I was looking for. The shoe felt comfortable the whole time, and I'm looking forward to getting these out there for another race soon. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.